Touch and go, rusting hold door, shut it. Opportunity beautifully ruined, dutifully you rushed it. Let a random man panhandle at some Cadillac ample map. It's all in the cage you catch. Question it. What's this strange ledge we built? Why do we all get led to it? Why do we become so insensitive and clearly fail the rest of it? I was trying to seek that peace my head was in, but that clarity again, I was never left to it. Thanks, guys. I'm hiking from across Wisconsin. Me and my crew and other exoneration will be seeing you around.
You know, when I gotta fill out paperwork that asks that, it bounces around.
I just tell them that I don't have a job, I'm jobless.
It's impossible to explain to someone who has no idea about that world.
I mean,
I'm not really that, you know, I'm not that blatant about it necessarily. I'll be like, more like, know somebody for a while and they won't even know.
I don't know, I don't go into the whole thing. Well, you see, I don't do that. I just say I'm on unemployed. I'm looking, something like that. Very, very brief, yeah.
I'm in the music industry. Kind of keep it real vague. And sometimes people are fine with that, and sometimes people want to pry and know more specifically what you do. And I try to kind of dance around it until I really have to tell them.
Yeah, I'm just a musician, and sometimes, oh, what do you do? Sometimes I'll tell them I DJ. Sometimes I tell them I make beats. I lie, but it saves me some awkward conversations.
I would tell them what was on my tax form, musician, and then they would say, well, what kind of musician? And then, eventually it kind of comes out, but then you kind of dance around like, yeah, I'm a producer, I do music for television, I'm a DJ, and, I played bass for 8 years in high school, so I threw that in.
If I'm at an airport going through customs, I say DJ. I've been taking pictures, sometimes I say photographer.
A lot of times I'm just like, I'm a DJ, even though I'm not at all a DJ. It's easier to say that than to explain what I do. And then they ask, like, well, who do you work with? And like, they haven't heard of it, so it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I'll say I'm a musician, I'm an electronic musician. Depending who's asking me, the answer will be different,
I'm now fully comfortable, like on my way out of my job, I'm fully comfortable just telling people I'm a rapper, unrepentantly.
I would tell people I was a rapper.
I don't know if we've heard this a lot from people, but the worst thing is to be like, yeah, I'm a rapper,
No, you never want to say you're a rapper.
Because everybody's a rapper right now.
And I'm dressed like this, I say rapper. If I'm dressed like a normal person, I say musician. People don't usually take rappers seriously. Which is fair, I don't take rappers seriously.
Oh, so yeah, you rap, so what do you sound like? You sound like yeah, I do.
Anytime I mention the word rap, forget it. Get like a screw face or people saying like, you? Really? No. And I'm like, why? Like, what's wrong with that?
The first thing is, what do you play? I say I'm a musician, they say, what do you play? I say, I rap. Oh.
Well, I'm a chemical engineer with a Bachelor of Science from Manhattan College. What do you do? I fucking rap, man.
Initially, I'd say something like, I'm in a band. And then they would probe and say, oh, what instrument do you play? And I'd say, I don't really play an instrument. And they say, oh, what do you do then? And then I'd say, I'm a vocalist. They say, well, sing me a song. And I say, well, I don't sing. And then that's when it comes tumbling down. And I say, I rap. And then they say, oh, like that stuff on the news,
To this day, my family, like my aunts ask me, like, so what are you doing again? I'll be like, oh, well, I'm an entrepreneur, Once again, just however you shape it, so they don't say, because sometimes you can say like, I'm a musician, and all they think is, oh, do you need some help? That's like their inner response.
When somebody asks me what I do for a living, sometimes I rely on the record store or the record label, because it sometimes can be a little awkward to try and explain to like a 50-year-old white lady that I'm a rapper. Because then she's gonna be like, oh, you mean like Tupac? And I'm gonna be like, yeah, just like Tupac.
Stuck somewhere in between, being at the bottom and living the dream. Look, I made it this far, content with where we are, but I wouldn't mind moving along. liable to break your neck. Live and we in the flesh, arriving and getting bent. Rhyming to pay the rent with the loot, we get paid to do it. And hopping when opportunity knocks, and we gotta prove it. Rock for the props, so keep the Prada in the Gucci. But I'm trying to cop a plot of property with a jacuzzi. Pop like a piece of vinyl and properly press the music. I'm piling it with my people on how we gon' distribute it. I don't know. Fuck it, we're gonna pack up a van and hit the road a couple weeks to pay it back in advance. I know the map of the land like it's the back of my hand. And all the actual fans gonna be happy as clams. See, we murder and merge table to purchase the next meal. And firmly planted our feet somewhere that people can feel. Made our roots inside the city, not just keeping it real. But see, we keeping their attention with the evenest keel. Come on. Stuck somewhere in between, being at the bottom and living the dream. Look, I made it this far, content with where we are, but I wouldn't mind moving along. Stuck somewhere in between, being at the bottom and living the dream. Look, I made it this far, content with where we are, but I wouldn't mind moving along.
I was always on my tape, record, pause, waiting for the song, cut out the commercial, boom, boom, come back. Song is whack, rewind it to the beginning, get ready for the next song, pause, tape.
And then making tapes in the garage with the little Radio Shack microphones and the two cassette tape. You'd loop a beat by playing like 5 seconds of a beat and hitting record and pause and record and pause to the other tape, and like a big you'd loop the beat like that.
And I remember the tape this day. It was a cassette tape, and it actually was written on with crayon.
Back in those days, it was really all about DJing. I was a DJ, our whole crew, we all DJ'd, and we would make tapes.
Was the Force MCs, who later became the Force MDs. And it was one of their most famous tapes, their famous routines, because they would take like the TV show themes and make their own words to them, and that's what they were doing. And I remember hearing this. That was really that's my first rap memory. I heard that and I lost my mind.
There was a Granddaddy IU record called Girl in the Mall. It was like an X-rated, real nasty X-rated joint. And I used to play on the basketball team, so my point guard lent me the CD. I still have it too. I never give it back to him. So I'm listening to it, and he's like talking all this crazy sex shit. Like, so I was like, yo, I could write some shit like that. So I like wrote this crazy X-rated rhyme, like real raunchy. And my mother like was snooping around my room and found that shit, and she beat the shit out of me. It's like, and to this day, like whenever I see Granddaddy IU, I'm like, yo, man, I lost my allowance for 2 months because of you, man.
My father was always saying, don't push me because I'm close to the edge whenever he was upset with us, you know? But then it would be kind of like a funny, like even if we didn't do anything that got him really upset, but we were headed in that direction, he would say, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head.
You know, they had the 10-cent, the 1 penny tape club. You get 12 tapes for a penny. So my father used to always do that under fake names. He was a preacher, so a fake preacher. He said, "Oh, I'm Priest Omar." So he'd send away for credit cards and all this stuff. So he sent away for a tape, 12 tapes of his own music to listen to, and he thought it was funny. He's like, "Oh, Fat Boys." So that was my first cassette tape I owned. My dad said, "Here, Fat Boy." He gave me, because I was fat. He thought it was funny. "Here, Fat Boy." He gave me a Fat Boys tape. I said, "Oh, you're funny, Dad. Yeah, real funny." So that was the first cassette tape I ever owned.
My first memory was seeing Spring Records, I believe it was, the green and white label, 45 spinning, and it was Jimmy Spice and Dollar Bill.
AJ Scratch by Curtis Blow, Hard Times, Run DMC, and the whole Breakin' soundtrack.
Microphone Fiend by Rakim was like the song that grabbed me.
Hearing Eazy-E in my mom's car.
Probably the Scenario video.
Me and my brother begging my mother for Adidas tracksuits so that we could spin on the carpet in the house.
My first rap memory. That is like an intensely tough question to answer. It depends on what capacity of rap we're talking. Hearing rap, being rap, thinking rap.
That's 3. Let's do all 3. First
All right.
time hearing rap.
No idea.
My babysitter's boyfriend was this Puerto Rican cat, and he came over When my babysitter was there, he probably wasn't supposed to be there, but he started windmilling in the kitchen. He had his box, and he started windmilling in my folks' kitchen. And for me as a kid, I literally at that moment was like, I want to be that guy. Like that was my first idol. Like I wanted to be this kid who could windmill.
That's easy. Run DMC was the first any music, not just hip hop, but any music at all that was mine. Like when I first heard Run DMC, I was like, this is not my mom's, this is not my dad's, this is mine.
Chuck D on MTV in a Pittsburgh Pirates starter, the hand motion. Most of my heroes don't appear on no stamp like that. I saw that, I was like, yep, okay, that's what I want to do.
If you could get a tattoo at like 11 or 12, I would have got the Wu-Tang symbol on my arm, honestly. Like, that's how much I was into them, you know?
Oh, I still want to be Jam Master Jay.
I went to a Salt and Pepper concert, and probably at the time, it'd be safe to say I wanted to be like them.
The Juice Crew, you know, MC Shan, you know, shit like that. You know, like Shan, when Down by Law came out.
Special ed. The hair, our shared Jamaican ancestry.
MC Search. When I first started, it was LL Cool J, most definitely. Then it became Eazy-E, maybe. And then as I really began making music, it was like Supernatural and Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Biz Markie, and then later on Large Professor.
Run DMC. We wanted to be Run DMC because they were from around the way.
Big Daddy Kane. I wanted to be Big Daddy Kane. I wanted to be Dominique Wilkins, Mike Tyson. Really wanted the haircut with the part.
My 8th grade yearbook quote was the B-I-G-D-A-D-D-Y explodes.
On the 6th floor apartment just below me, named Charles Hardison. And in the neighborhood, he was known as Charlie Watt. He was like the rapper in the neighborhood. He never made a record or anything like that, but back then, it wasn't about making records. It was just about being the guy that could pick up the mic at the jam outside where the DJ had the equipment set up and just start rapping. So he was that guy. And he would make tapes, and he would actually walk around with his big radio, blasting his tapes with him rapping.
I wanted to be Run. And then, you know, I wanted to be Run because he was cool, not because he was a rapper. I wanted to be Run because of his fucking hat. I wanted to be Run because of the leather and the black. This was even pre-Adidas. But when I started to write rhymes, I wanted to be LL Cool J. That was a few years later. And when I thought of myself as like this fantasy of being an MC, being a rapper, growing up and having limousines and gold chains and all that kind of stuff, it was me dressed up in LL Cool J's clothes.
As a rapper or as a person?
As a rapper.
I definitely wanted to be Prodigy from Mobb Deep.
And as a regular person, what did you want to be?
A veterinarian.
Too Short. I wanted to be Too Short.
Hello. Everyone says that I'm the female version of him, of Too Short.
I always wanted to be like Short because he was just like, he was like, he's calling the girl a hoe, a bitch, a fuck the hoe, and then he's still fucking her. Like, how? Like, because growing up, your mother says, you know, be nice to the girls, get you a nice young girlfriend. And Too Short is like, yeah, I told that bitch, this hoe, that. At the end of the song, he's getting his dick sucked. And I'm like, how is he like shitting on his bitch and then he's still fucking her? Like, and whenever I tried that shit, it didn't work. Like, I get smacked in the face or get away from.
Who did I not want to be? I don't know. Like, I didn't want to be Vanilla Ice.
I didn't want to be Vanilla Ice.
The obvious answer is Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Maybe Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice?
You strove to be everyone but him.
There was stuff that wasn't, you know, everybody used to joke about Hammer or Vanilla Ice or whatever, but looking back, like, their records were good compared to the shit that's out now.
But truthfully, like, all them dudes had their part, you know, and sometimes their part was to play the role that people didn't want to be. Like, that is, you know, somebody's got to play that role, but they still have legacy within the culture. Their name is in the book for one reason or another, you know? So I'll take any of that. I just now want to be in the book.
To be honest, I figured most rappers have 9 to 5s, independent and underground, you know?
Well, I mean, just at least another job.
I've been living off of music. I quit my 9-to-5 in 2000.
I was working like 3 days a week in a bakery. I wasn't like baking, I was behind the counter. And I was just like making money off tips and slight pilfering from the register. This isn't gonna be in the movie, right?
I was a custodian at my junior high school for a summer job for 2 summers in a row. And I saved up my money and bought an SP1200.
I never got a paycheck in my life. I've always been paid under the table. But when I was, actually, you know what? No, at the last record store I worked at in '96 was Rasputin's in Berkeley. And I got a check, 'cause that was my first and last paycheck I ever got. And I was 17 years old, I think.
I've technically been rapping since I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. And everyone that knew me then will remember that. However, professionally since I was 15.
I was like 15 or 16 when I said, yeah, this is the hip hop shit is what I'm gonna try to do.
My first solo album, I came out and I got a good advance on it, and then I had to tour. And I was, at that point, my living situation was pretty cheap, so it didn't take a lot of money for me to be able to drop the bakery gig.
Last 9-to-5 was at a strip club called Rick's Cabaret. I was a men's room attendant. Giving out gum and cologne and shit like that. And then writing when nobody was in there. I wrote my first record in the bathroom. And then I quit to go sell merch for Atmosphere on the Warped Tour. And then never really looked back.
We worked at Fat Beats, you know, and when it closed almost a year ago, I kind of just was like, yo, I'm running with this, trying to scrape by, selling beats and whatever else.
Breeze and I, we were like, you know, college is cool, but we kind of got to strike when the iron was hot. We kind of had some opportunities that we had to address, and it was really can't serve two masters.
But since I started doing it, I didn't do no other jobs, you know what I'm saying? I had you know, a lot of adventures, you know, not knowing what was gonna happen and stepping on a lot of couches and whatnot, but, you know, that's been my only profession for 5 years.
There's been a lot of times where, you know, money was flowing, a lot of times where money wasn't, so it's been quite a ride, but that's the beauty of it.
When I released the CD and discovered, much to my dismay at the time, that becoming a road dog who lives half the year in a car or a van, sleeping on couches and shit, and playing in little live music venues and bars is how you make a living.
Everybody, front to back, side to side, from the windows to the walls, from vagina to the balls. I need you to make some motherfucking noise right now for Lucky I Am. Hello. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Could you guys come over here? Just come over here. Just real quick. Come on, scoot up, scoot up, scoot up, scoot up. Scoot up, scoot up. There you go. How you guys doing? Hello. What's up, man? Vegas, make some noise.
I go away for a month and a half, and I'm leaving my son, leaving my wife, and leaving my dog. Not in that order. Be my son, my dog, and then my wife. Just kidding.
Hey! 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What is this called again, Curtis King? What is it not? What is it not? It's never rehearsal. You're a rapper. You should never be up here for longer than 10 minutes.
Touring is brutal on your soul.
Touring is one of those things where it can be a crapshoot. It can be you show up, get your money, and you sell merch, and it's a great night, or you show up, the promoter leaves, and you don't sell shit.
Beginning of the day, we're just like, oh man, we're gonna kill the show, and we're gonna go in, we're gonna drink, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna chill, we're gonna see the town. You know, you get to like an hour before showtime, you're like, yo man, after this, you wanna just go back to the hotel and watch MSNBC?
There are tours that I do to pay my bills, and there are tours like this that I'm probably gonna break even on because it's going to be an amazing adventure.
Everything that came from the music felt like found money. Any trip I ever took through the music was like, all right, this work, but make sure you go and get a real, you know, whatever. If we was in Italy, get some real pizza. If you in France, you know, eat a snail. Like, it was like, get your experience and your, they ain't vacations, but it was found money in a way.
Can you read the mic channel for a second? Check, no, just a mic, we're good. Go ahead. Alright, my name is Over Mike Eagle and I'm a rapper.
I'm very far away from my house right now. I'm in the middle or the end of a tour of the Midwest, and I'm from Chicago, so the north part of the Midwest has been kind to me, but on the way down to Texas and back up, we've had some spots where it's been ugly.
It's fun the first week. Then second week, it's okay. By third week, you want to go home. And you eat crap, you drink every night, you never sleep.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot. I would like to see, you know, somebody else try it. Because, you know, you do a show on a tour in Europe, and, you know, you fly for a day and you lose 9 hours and you get there and you got 5 hours to rest or whatever, and then you do that show and then you greet the fans till 3 a.m. and you get your hotel at 4, and then you have a long travel, so your flight's at 7. So then you just put your head down for 1 sec, and then you got to get up and pack, and now you haven't slept, and then you sleep while you're waiting for the plane, then you sleep when you get on the plane, then you sleep in the car when you're driving to the hotel, then you sound check and sleep a little bit more, and then you get on the stage, and then you do that shit again. It's like, it's not human kind of shit. First world shit, but a lot. Yeah.
It's funny, man, I brought my mom out to one of my shows, we were in Kentucky or whatever, and it just happened to be one of those nights where nobody was there. And you're on stage, you find the 3 people in the room who are just like the most amazing, devoted fans who have all your shit, and they're like apologizing about their city and all that shit, and you're just like performing your heart out, and you look at your mom and she's just sitting there like, this is what you've been doing on the road. And you're like, no, seriously, like, Portland was amazing, I'm telling you. This shit was amazing. We had fans that lined up.
You're away from your loved ones way too much. You're away from your life. And it's like, you go through these cycles of depression and excitement, depression and excitement, depression and excitement. You know, with the tour ends, and it's the same thing. It's just like, every moment of my day was filled with people, with fun, with drinks, with shows, with girls, with whatever. And now I'm on my couch.
It's sort of disorienting because you go from just like sitting in your underwear on the couch, you know, watching House, to suddenly being like harangued by people asking you for like autographs and stuff like that. And that's wonderful, it's amazing. But when you leave it, I can imagine to some it can be devastating.
People think it's easy. They think it's not a job. They think it's a way to get around getting a real job. And you're working like 3 times as much as any real job for 1/3 the pay.
there's no hours. It's just like a 24-hour grind. I really have to work to make it an 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift. These people you assume are super famous and don't do shit all day, because every time you see them, they're on a beach or they have a blunt in their mouth. But most of them are very astute business people and work really hard.
I'm packing orders, I'm shipping orders. I mean, the kids that buy our stuff, if they knew it was me shipping it to them, some of the allure would be gone, I'm sure. I guess it's broke now. The story's broken. But, that's what it is.
Keeping my Twitter interesting, calling my best friend who 2 months ago I hired as my manager, just trying to help him out and help me out. Calling him and seeing why there's 10 blank Facebook posts yesterday.
Just constantly writing, constantly recording, constantly, sending out business emails, answering business emails, making connections, building relationships, just trying to knock on doors in the internet age.
I don't think too many people rap better than me, but most people network better than I do. And so like the 23 hours I spend, aside from that hour on stage or that hour in the booth, whatever that may be, aside from my domestic duties as a husband, it's spent just, trying to, meet people, figure out what I could do to catch people's eye. It's really hard.
Just trying to make sure that I'm promoting what I'm doing in a way that it looks like, that it looks successful and trying to actually make sure that it is successful in whatever senses I can control.
I mean, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in the industry of people entertaining, and so you have to look behind that a little bit.
I think the biggest misconception about it, at least from people I know, is that they think how good they are is going to determine how far they go, and how hard they work is going to determine how far they go.
I didn't understand that it wasn't about the music. I didn't understand that they're marketing you as a personality and marketing you as a person and a piece of pop culture. I didn't understand that. I thought if your music is great, your song comes out, and the world loves your music because it's great. I thought that's how it works. If the music's great, the world's gonna love it. And I knew my music was great, so I thought I was good.
It's okay to admit that it's not just the music, because it's not. It never has been. And that's fine. It's okay, just be honest about it. Because it's a lot of people's hopes that they pin to like this possibility that like they're gonna make their own success, they're gonna make their own way on their own terms by themselves with no help whatsoever. And success will rain upon them. And then they find it doesn't.
Someone says, fuck you, I hate you, literally. Every day I have to read that. And it's just like, I stopped reading YouTube, but that's just updating my Twitter and Facebook. Someone has a problem with something I'm doing, the way I'm creating my art or living my life. And it's ridiculous. That shit can drive you fucking...
They say, well, it looks like you're doing good. You're having shows and you're on the road. But I mean, how come we don't hear you? How come everybody doesn't know you? They don't realize there's a whole society of people that make music. You know what I mean? That doesn't even ever get to them.
My name isn't hot where I'm just calling people and they're like, yeah, on the first try. Like, that's not my reality. So I have to be aware that it, could be bad on the other side of being good, because it's already not that great.
Music is always it's always been promising enough to make it not feel like I'm wasting my life by not having a normal 9 to 5.
I don't want to quit my job. This is the best job I've ever had, And so there's always, a little bit of this thing in the back of your mind, like, I wonder if I'm gonna get fired this year. I wonder if this will be the last year.
You never want to give up on your dream, but I have been, grinding. Like the past 6 years, it's just been a grind, and it just kept going down and down and down.
There was a lot of things where hip hop was kind of just like bitch slapping. And it was like, I wasn't mad at it because, you know, it was the business side of it. It had nothing to do with it musically. But it was just like, if you just stay on that, you're gonna make some other things real precarious. And as a father and as a man, I just wasn't prepared to do that.
15 shows in a row, 3 people show up. Your distributor calls you, we gotta destroy all your CDs and records because they're not selling. You get a letter in the mail certified, like, yo, we're dropping you from iTunes, all your stuff, we're pulling it off because you're not moving.
After a while, it's like there's only so much you can live that life, especially, you know, not on a grand scale of things.
When it's not fun anymore, then you can't justify doing it. Like all those years, like I was struggling with money, things were tough, but I was having fun. So as long as I was having fun, I was like, you know, that justifies what I'm going through.
I woke up one day and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it was just stressful. And I thought back to like when it was fun, and that's why I got into music. I enjoyed it, I loved it, and I started hating it. Yeah. And I'm like, I could hate a regular job for more money. You know, so why not?
When everyone's, you know, hollering at you for, you know, interviews and, you know, features and this and that, and everyone's buying your new release, it's great. If there's a lull, it's terrifying.
I was performing in the Knitting Factory in LA, and I'm doing a set, and the opening act had the house packed. It was like 400 people in there. And then I go to the bathroom and I come back and everybody's gone. And I'm headlining, and then there's 5 people in there and they're all like texting during the show. And I was used to it, like that happened all the time, but just something clicked that night. Like I was up there performing, probably around the 3rd song in the set, like I was like, yo, where the hell am I gonna get dinner? Like everything in LA closes at 2, and like it's like 12:30 at that point. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna be able to eat. And like I'm sitting there and the crowd is there and I'm performing, but I'm like, man, fuck this shit, I just wanna eat. And I just started thinking like, yo, I got a parking ticket on my dresser at home, I gotta pay that shit. You know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I just didn't care. Like I could care less. And then between songs, like I looked at Bilal and I went to the set list, and there was like, you know, 14 songs on there. And at this point I was about maybe the 4th song. Like I was like, yo, songs 5 through 10, cut them shits out of the set. And I just did the last 4 songs. I gave it all I had, and the show was maybe 27 minutes. It was supposed to be an hour, and I just walked. And that was like, I'm never doing this shit again. And I'd never been back on stage again.
There are a lot of times that I wish that I could just hang the mic up and just kind of saw this whole gigantic heaping mass of energy, positive, negative, everything, right off my back, and just go to the park with my dog, throw the ball for him, and tune out. But it's always there, and it's kind of a gift and a curse. You think about, you know, the next record you're gonna make, how you're gonna avenge your last record, how you're gonna do this, and it's just, that's the motivation. It's just not something that you can turn off.
It's just such a personal thing, you know, like especially when you're on this level where you can literally count the dollars and the cents that you make with music, you know.
Rap music and rap money and the culture of rap is highly flammable, you know. It goes away pretty quick.
Well, my story isn't unique, it's just untold, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody, you know, who was in the indie rap thing with me had a very similar story. You know what I'm saying? So like my story isn't special, it's not unique, but it's just not told because people, when you become a musician, your personal worth and your ego and your pride and everything is all rolled up into this entity, whatever it is, whether it's Jay's own or whatever. So if Jay's own fails, now Jay feels like he failed.
Hip hop, you know, lifestyles require aggression, they require testosterone, they require I don't give a fuck attitude. And when you reach a certain age, you know, you have to kind of embrace the fact that you really do give a fuck, you know? And so it's kind of hard sometimes to rationalize your own place in this, where you know it's a youth-driven movement, but I'm not so much of a youth anymore.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm 37. I've got a wife, got a son. I'm embarrassed my lawn's not cut. Makes me an adult.
You know, sometimes when you want to find your footing, you have to go back to start. I want to make some music, but I'm not really feeling the hip hop shit right now. So what can I do? It was like, my father's like, well, take up an instrument, you know? So I was like, all right. So I was going to start playing bass again. And I was like, well, if I'm going to take any time to start fresh, I'm going to start now. So I've been watching like a lot of videos of like James Brown's drummers in like the 60s. I'm like, how the fuck do these guys do this shit? Like Buddy Rich videos. I was like, well, let me try to pick up the drums. So, you know, I got a kid. You know, I took some lessons. It's been kind of refreshing because that indirectly made me want to start making beats again, because I was like, if I had made that beat and focused more on the drums, the beat would have been a lot better. 10 years ago, I'm like, oh, here's a break, loop it, or here's a kick, here's a snare. Let's make it as loud as possible and find the illest sample. And now it's like, that could use an open hi-hat there. So instead of sequencing like you're thinking like a drummer, like, you know, free form and open. So it kind of, I'm not fully back on the hip hop shit like how I was, but when I make beats, it's kind of fun to like approach it with the stuff I've learned from studying the drums. I'm back, you know, doing stuff, but I'm just proceeding with caution, and I'm kind of like taking the same approach I took when I started, where it's like you're having fun. Only difference is when you're doing that at 35, people look at you funny because it's like, well, yeah, how you gonna pay your rent? Yeah, how you gonna pay your bills? You know, when you're 15, like, yeah, I'm gonna learn this, I'm gonna learn that, and I'm gonna have. And now at this age, it's like, yeah, well, how you gonna survive? So, you know, that's the part I'm working on. Like, how can I enjoy this and not worry about the money, but then still take care of bills? Like, that's the hard part, because the minute you get sucked into the business, then it's not fun. I'd be lying if I said I was totally over, you know, the feelings of the, you know, the ambivalence about it. But, you know, I'm just trying to take like a fun approach and trying to just start from zero. That's really the way I'm looking at it, and, you know, trying to find ways to make a living in the meantime.
It's hard to see how people transition now. I remember when I used to talk to people older than me that had been doing it longer, they seemed very jaded and very bitter, and I never wanted to be that. Like, I just remember telling myself when I was like 21 or 22, I'm like, don't ever become that jaded, bitter old rapper that's like, these young kids suck. Like, I never wanted to become that.
A 40-year-old guy at a show for 16-year-olds is just sad, you know, unless you're escorting your children. And even then, it's still kind of sad.
I mean, you can keep rapping, but how long someone else is gonna pay attention? There'll be like a couple exceptions, and everyone will strive to be them, and say, but that's like lottery shit, you know what I'm saying?
When you get a certain age, you have to rap about penny loafers and mortgages. It's like, you know, and 401ks and taking your kids to soccer practice and shit. Like, yeah, that's part of a lot of our lives, but I'm single, I don't have any kids, so like, I don't relate to that shit either.
When I do rap now, I present myself in, I guess, in an adult manner. You know what I mean? I'm not like the gorilla out rapping. You know what I mean? I'm not doing all that. I'm carrying myself like you think a 40-year-old black dude from New York City would carry himself. Right. I'm not trying to be 19. I'm not 19 years old. Right. You know what I mean?
Look at me. I get better every year, every single year. And so, you know, rappers need to change that shit. And I'm gonna be the Bernard Hopkins, I'm gonna be the Archie Moore of the game. I'm gonna make sure that 48, 58, I can still massacre anybody on stage.
60-year-old, 70-year-old folk musicians. That's pretty normal, I would say, in other genres. The only reason it doesn't exist now is because rap didn't start that long ago, that there could be somebody that's that old.
It's a different approach. As you get older, you value different things. You know certain things are bullshit. You know certain things are important. And it just comes with age. You get a little bit more wise, I think, and a little bit less concerned with how you're perceived.
I don't know if I will always rap. I know that I'm a musician first. I play a lot of instruments, I sing. I know that when I'm 60, I probably won't want to bust the illest flows. I'll probably want to make some blues music or something where I can sing quietly. But I'll always be making music. I'm a lifer, you know?
I don't know. I'm gonna do it until it's not fun anymore. I still have fun. I still love getting a room full of people super worked up and they didn't expect it to happen. That's like the highest high ever. It's a cool feeling.
At this age, I'm doing this now only because every year it gets a little better. If I was getting declining every year, I would definitely be like, oh, maybe I should stop, just like anything in life. But I'm lucky enough that, you know, last year I toured Europe and I toured the States, but this year I toured Europe and the States and Bahrain and doing sound set now with Willie. I did it last year with Edan. We're coming back with my group Dumbtron. We only have a video out. Says something. It's like, I just feel like there are enough people after shows that say, hey, great job, or that was brilliant, or yeah, man, or you're the fucking best show ever. Every time I hear that, I'm like, I'm not gonna stop. I've had jobs before, and that's not how I left the job on a Thursday night. Like, oh man, that way you filed that, brilliant, you know? So you get that in rap, and I'm gonna keep doing it as long as for me specifically, as long as it pays my bills, and as long as it allows me to maintain and to pay off this mortgage on my house, and my daughter is doing fine and she has what she needs, there's no reason for me to stop. Completely, thoroughly enjoying it, and seems that a few other people are too, so.
If people are showing you're still selling shit out, cool, don't stop, keep going, you know? But if it's like you see it dissipating and then you're working extra hard to get it and you start fighting it, there comes a point where you're like, all right.
I think when you're not able to make a living, and I think that's the thing, is like if these people were supporting their kids and doing what they're supposed to, they would not be able to rap. But the fact they choose to continue their careers and ignore their children, their wives, or babies' mothers, and their responsibilities. And I think that when you're not able to support yourself, then it's time to find a new way to make a living.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm an adult and I'm a rapper. But in a way, the reason I think that seems like a contradiction is, I mean, rappers in general are like Peter Pan.
I do think that some of my progression towards being more of a storyteller might have something to do also with my anxiety of, you know, I can't be bragging and boasting at 45 years old about how I'm cooler. What am I gonna say? I'm cool and I can keep my dick hard longer than you? Like, what am I supposed to say? You know what I mean? It's like, how do you brag and boast? You know, and so I think I'm just trying to find a natural place for me to sit in this, to still continue, to some extent, doing what I'm doing, you know?
Rap is kind of this great thing because it's got its own how-to manual in it. There's like formal, I mean, it's like, you know, record companies are shady, et cetera, et cetera. The game is to be sold, not to be told. Pimping, not easy, but necessary. All these things are kind of true, really.
And that's what I always tell kids who want to do this. It can't be a fucking choice. Like, you know, this is literally what I do. And I don't like it all the time. And I feel guilty because people always make me feel, you do what you love. And I'm like, you're supposed to be a mother. And I've got to the point now where I'm like, no, like, there's shitty parts about everything. There's shitty parts about marriage. Now that I know there's definitely shitty parts about being parents, and just a lot of human beings are full of shit.
If I were to go back to my early 90s self and have a conversation with him, I would say, look, you don't have to buy all these sneakers. You don't have to think about what you're wearing. You don't have to throw a hat on for every photo shoot. You just gotta stay true to the music. And you know, I know that you're doing that, but it's always, that's what's gonna rise to the top. That's what people are gonna remember you for, you know? don't waste your money on the materialistic crack, because that's what it is.
What would I tell me? I think I'd kill the whole keep it real thing, because that really cost me some money. Like, I had opportunities that I kind of turned down. When keeping it real goes wrong, definitely plenty of those opportunities.
And I would have told myself something about the industry, but really, I never felt like I didn't understand that it was corrupt and a disaster, and that eventually, you know, everyone sells out a little bit, you know? But I would have told myself to not be such a purist asshole about everything.
I would tell him, Noah, your voice will change, don't worry. And it will be good for you, I promise. Puberty will be kind. Maybe not in all the physical regards, but at least vocally, it will be a credit to you and what you want to do in the future.
Don't sleep with everybody. Be more cautious, you know? You can hug everybody. You could be validated by everybody. You can even fall in love with everybody. Just don't put your penis in everybody.
I would tell kids that if you want to do it, you have to actually fully dedicate yourself to it. Dedicate yourself now. Like, you're young, you can do it. You have the freedom to do it. The older you get, the less options you have in life. You know, it's sort of windows will close on you. Now you have this opportunity to do it. So go for it. Nobody really is gonna give a fuck about you if you're 40 and you're still like, hey, I'm gonna make it. Go for it now. Like, you're young, you have no responsibilities, you have nothing else. Go for it. It took me a long time to like really find myself and sort of become a person, as opposed to like this collection of images and ideas of what I thought people wanted. And I should have been working on that all along while making music. I think it would have made the music more interesting. It would have made for a better and more complete vision. And I think ultimately a happier person during all that period. And probably should have been, you know, that would be my main advice. Like, don't worry about other people. Don't worry about anything else other than doing what you love.
I wish I had learned earlier not to listen to anybody, just to do what I do and like it or hate it.
As a kid, you thinking about how to get all the girls, you know what I'm saying? And an adult tells you, like, be yourself. And you think to yourself, yeah, right, that'll never work, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you trying to figure it out. And, you know, you come to an age where you realize, oh, wow, that is actually what you're supposed to do. And that, you know, that's something that I think, you know, transcends from everything from, you know, job interviews to just being around, you know, social situations or whatever it is. Just be yourself. And you think to yourself, it can't be that. That can't really be the answer. I would tell myself, yo, just being yourself actually is the real answer. Before you try 100 other things, try that. You know, I bet you it'll work.
Don't go to Westwood for Westwood Mardi Gras. Don't go out with your homies and then have your little ass homie pick a fight with the USC football team. Run around fucking Westwood, drunk as fuck off of what? Some Cisco's and 40s, and then kick your foot through a window, almost chop your leg off, and fuck up going to college to play football, basketball, baseball, whatever, and be a pro athlete with this music shit.
So there's a plan, but 2015 is the date. I don't know about hanging up the microphone. I want to learn to play the banjo and sing. But the end of Merce, there'll be a definite end to the Merce era.
As long as you're youthful, inquisitive, you still like to learn, you still like new ideas, new thought, I think those are philosophies and ideas that apply across all age ranges and inspire people. And as long as your music reflects that, there is no expiration date.
So there is a, you know, shining light to continue and you know, make records that they love and their fan base will love or gravitate towards and you know, support your family with. And it just, you know, that is, you know, keeps me satisfied and makes me a much more agreeable person around the house.
My career has evolved so much at this point. Who could say what I'll be doing 20 years from now? I have no idea. It's been about 13 years now. I'm doing things that I never dreamed I'd be able to do.
I really don't hate too much. Sounds crazy to you. I really don't hate too much about what I do. That's why I'm doing it. And I didn't hate too much about being a skateboarder. I didn't hate too much about being a graffiti artist. When I got arrested too much, I stopped. And when my arm got hurt in baseball, I stopped. So there was things telling me to move on. You know, those indicators might show up here in my music career also. I haven't seen them, so I'm keeping going, right, because I feel good about it. Second I don't, the next thing comes on.
I tell you what, whether people hear it or not, I'll be recording songs long after people are paying attention to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make music because I love making music. I make rap music because I can do it by myself with nobody around, nobody to help. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
It's always wonderful to meet someone who says, oh, this thing that you did had a positive effect on me. Without any pretense. Not because I listened to it because it was cool, or listened to it because, you know, I thought it would impress people, but this thing that you introduced to the world had, you know, made an impression on me that I will remember. That's powerful to me, and that's the best part of it. That's singularly the best part of it. There's nothing that compares to it.
While I didn't particularly know exactly what I wanted out of life, I made some amazing shit happen for myself. You know what I'm saying? And like it's definitely not optimal. It's definitely not where it should be. You know, I would love to be over there in one of those apartments, like walking over here to do this interview.
But I figure I got some years still left in it, some years. But I'm definitely not gonna, you know, be the old ass rapper.
I sort of go, oh no, that makes sense. I'm one of the cards at Amoeba that doesn't have any CDs in it. Like, that's cool for me, and I can live with that.
I just want to be able to watch the same television program for 6 months, shit in the same bathroom. Man, I tell my wife all the time, it's like, if you motherfuckers want to go to Budapest, go. Send me the fucking pictures. I'm sitting on this fucking couch. I'm not going fucking anywhere. You know, maybe I'll change my mind, but I just told her, like, I really want the irrevocable right to sit on my ass. I've earned it.
You know, I'm never gonna sell millions of records unless it's a freak accident. At this point, you know, it's just about doing what I enjoy and trying to make a living, and that's gonna be my life story.
I don't know. Maybe open a restaurant. Maybe I'll sell drugs. Maybe I'll learn how to play the saxophone. Maybe I'll be a bum. Maybe I'll just, like, hang out on a beach for 40 years until I expire. I don't know. Yeah.
That was a great marker.
Yesh, AKA Yeshua the Poe D. That's what I used to go by mostly. And my name is Edwin.
My rap name is Soul Khan. My given name is Noah Abraham Weston.
I go by J57. Government name is James Hines.
My rap name is Alaska, and my given name is Tim Baker.
Tony Simon, and my rap name is Blockhead. Well, my producer name is Blockhead.
My given name is William Tramontazzi, which is as Italian as it gets. My DJ name is DJ JS1.
My rap name is Despot. My given name is Alec Israel Reinstein.
My rap name is Jams, also known as Jams F. Kennedy. My given name is James Taylor Jolliffe IV.
Robert Garcia, I'm known in the hip-hop world as Bobito Garcia, aka Cool Bob Love, formerly known as DJ Cucumber Slice.
I go by Eternia. I rap. However, my mother named me Silkan Semiramis Dawn Craig Kaya. Say that fast 5 times.
Master Ace. I was named Duval Clear by my mother.
My given name by my lovely mother Carol is Torre Carr. My MC name given to me by the lovely listeners is also Torre.
My rap name is Blueprint. I'm 37 years old. My real name is Al Shepard.
My rap name is Slug, and my given name is Sean Daly.
Serengeti, rap, David Cohn, name.
My rap name is Lucky I Am. My given name is Tommy.
My rap name is Booker T, and my given name is Brooke Teresa King Carter.
I am already the Rugged Man, and better known to my family as already Thorburn.
My rap name is Homeboy Sandman. My given name is Angel Double R.
My rap name is Cryptic One of the Addams Family crew, and my given name is Ian Goldberg.
I'm Jerobi White. As a rapper, I'm Jerobi White.
My rap name is Lewis Logic, and my given name is Lewis Dorley.
My name is Open Mike Eagle. That's my rap name, and my given name is Michael Eagle.
Well, my name is Jensen Karp, and for a brief stint from about 2001 to 2003, I unfortunately was known as a stupid name of Hot Carl.
My rap name is Peyton Locke. My given name is Peyton Locke. Bam!
My rap name is POS. It's like the worst rap name ever. My given name is Stefan Alexander.
Some people call me Astronautilus. That's my rap name. My mom calls me Andy. My given name is Charles Andrew Bothwell.
Mr. Jason.
Rap name is Esoteric. Real name, Seamus Ryan.
My name is Des Maddock. My name is also Daniel Holbert.
Breed Bruin. Paul Smith.
Baby Joy, then Queen Heroine, AKA Lady Heroine, and the official is Peridot, which is becoming the new MC back to the original, Peridot Smith, my given.
Kev Fever, AKA B Slim, AKA Kev Boogie, Kevin Lawrence Smith.
My rap name is Don Will, and my given name is William Donald Freeman Jr.
My rap name is Alaska, and my real name is Tim Baker.
Government name, Michael Peretta. Rap name, Evidence of Dilating Peoples, or just Evidence.
My name is Merce. I was born Nicholas Neil Carter.
Jay Mumford, AKA Jay Zone, AKA I got like 50 different aliases. Tom Jones rap, Chief Chinchilla. What was it? Kenny Hoggins, Surcharge, Mr. Don't Holla, the Fax Phone Gigolo. Tons of names. Got a lot of names.
Would you describe yourself as an adult rapper?
Yeah, sure. I'm an adult rapper. I guess, I don't know what age you enter, well, 13 is the age you enter adulthood at. So I'm still a rapper, and I've been bar mitzvah